Hi guys, and welcome. You're probably wondering why we're here today, and you've probably recently purchased one of the Mark's Gourmet Kitchen grow kits. Now today we are going to be looking at setting this up, planting what's inside the box, and what to do and what not to do when using this product. For today's demonstration, we're going to be planting our most popular product, which is the Carolina Reaper. Okay, starting off, let's have a look at what's inside the box. On the rear of the box, you got the label. It shows you what exactly you get. Some macadamia clay pellets, a pot and saucer, tea marker, earthworm compost, potting soil, vermiculite, plant seeds, etc. And also the contact details if you do experience some issues. On the front, we just got the label with today's film or video is our Carolina Reaper. Let's pop it open and have a look inside. Okay, first up we have our setup and care instructions, which is a detailed, to the point, what you have to do, and we're going to follow these today. In the bag we have our vermiculite, which is expanded. It mimics the effect of bark basically. It retains a lot of moisture, as well as our earthworm compost, which is going to give our seeds a boost in the beginning with all that delicious earthworm nutrients. Then we have our giant cocoa peat pellet, which is great. It absorbs a lot of moisture and swells up to about twice its size. Then we have our chili seeds. Comes in this little container. These seeds are pretty expensive, so we only put in about 3 to 4 seeds per container. But if you do this correctly, most of them will germinate, at least 2 out of the 3. And then lastly, we have our clay pellets, as well as our propagation mix, which just contains some perlite, sphagnum moss, and a bunch of other soils, topsoils, nutrients to keep it, or to get it going. And then we have our 15 centimeter pot with its matching saucer, as well as a tea marker to indicate what you are growing. Let's put the box to the side and get to planting. Okay, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to start with is our macadamia clay pellets. Give a little bag a snip on the side. Now this pellets ensure sufficient drainage and helps to retain moisture, which is critical for the growth of your plants. There we go, you can see them there. There's our pot and saucer. Make sure to wash the containers beforehand in case there's some plastic residue or anything like that. Next up, we are grabbing our propagation mix. And the nice thing about the packaging, it's very clearly labeled, so it's pretty simple to follow. We'll add our propagation mix. As well as our vermiculite. Now the thing with the chili plants is you always want to keep the humidity up and the temperature to germinate at least between 24 and 27 degrees Celsius. So don't just place it on top of your windowsill and let it dry out. You have to keep watering it for at least 2 weeks straight, where the soil is completely drenched at all times. Now for this purpose, I'm just going to grab the tea marker. Let's go ahead and mix our propagation mix and our vermiculite. You can also use your fingers, it's a bit easier. You get some little clumps, just break them apart. There we go. And that is what we have now. Now for the next part, we're moving on to our cocoa peat pellet. It's got a little label on the back, pull it off. You don't want the plastic inside. Now this, move it around inside the soil, cover it back up. This is going to cover, you can press it down quite a bit. It's going to swell up a substantial amount. And now we just add our water. With the pellet, just slightly, don't soak it. There we go. To make it a bit easier, cut it open. And if you really want to, you can just break it apart. I tend to leave it like this. And there we go. This will help to keep the moisture inside the soil at all times, and it doesn't just evaporate away. Next part, let's move on with our earthworm compost. You can rub some of that broken off cocoa peat into this compost, and that is it. So for the purpose of this, normally you'd plant the seeds directly inside the cocoa peat pellet, as it says on the instructions as well, but I've found through some trial and error to plant it next to the cocoa peat pellet. But before we do that, let's add a little bit more water. Okay, and now depending on how many seeds you want to plant at once, if you want to do one seed, plant it inside the cocoa peat and take some of the soil and just cover it up. It will help with the germination and it will root inside the cocoa peat. Okay, I'll go for one on the side. Make 3 small holes about 5 millimeters deep. It'll ensure proper germination and the seed won't rot by the time it germinates. Let's grab our seeds. There we go. And at the end of the day, this is just for the germination. You are going to be planting this out at a later stage. Now let's grab our tea marker again, cover up the soil where we made those holes, and you can break apart some more of that cocoa peat just to cover the surface. It's very light, it fluffs out, and it'll allow light to pass through. Pretty simple, and allow your plants to grow upwards. And lastly, we are going to soak the soil completely until the water starts to accumulate in the saucer. And there we go. All set and done. We can write our description on top of the tea marker, place it inside, and wait for it to germinate. The seeds can take up to about 27 days to germinate if the conditions are not ideal, but you should be seeing some sprouts within the first week, week and a half. And if you guys are wondering where the seeds come from, we grow them in these grow bags. A lot of our seeds come from our own plants as well as our local suppliers, which means they are 100% organic and are grown under these full spectrum lights. You can see these beautiful healthy plants. These follow the exact same principle as the ones that you get inside your grow kit. And these bags are also ideal. They are 9-liter planter bags. They are very, very affordable, and if your plant reaches maturity, well, at least half of its age, you can literally move on to transplanting them into these bags, and they can stay in this for the rest of their lives. Here you can see you've got a beautiful red Carolina Reaper. Also, when your plants start to germinate, this is what you will see. This is what the little chili plant looks like, except for this is an imposter. It's not supposed to be there. There we go. These are mostly Carolina Reaper peppers. And the most important thing to remember when planting these plants is to actually keep the humidity extremely high. You can see the condensate on the back of our greenhouses. You want the humidity to be extremely high, around about 100%, to keep the soil drenched at all time. It must not dry out. Your plants will die pretty quickly. So leave it as such, keep it wet, and water them every single day. And after about 6 months, you'll end up with this beauty. This is my 6-month-old Carolina Reaper. Beautiful plant, lovely green leaves. It's actually started to flower now, so we'll have some beautiful fruit during the fruiting season. Also, besides that, this is one of our other varieties, which is our black pearl peppers. We currently do sell about 53 different varieties. Let me give you a closer look at the fruits. So here we go. You can see these beautiful black pearl peppers right here in front of us. And that's it. I hope this video was informative. If you guys do need any help with these kits, please do send us an email on the email listed on the box if you've purchased it, or drop your query in the comments down below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for supporting Mike's Gourmet Kitchen. If you are looking for our products, you can find them on Amazon.com very soon, as well as takealot.com if you're in South Africa. And that's it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow our cooking videos. We are going to be cooking with these peppers in the future. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.